My friends, it has been a while since we've just kind of sat down, tried on some Korean skincare, your requests, products that I have just been curious about. Let's change that today. We are gonna do an AM Korean skincare try-on, featuring some products I purchased in Black Friday sales that I talked about in this video, and also featuring products from the most recent Jolcy box. As a heads up, this is no longer available, but Jolcy is doing their free shipping event again starting today. I'll link them below if you are interested. I definitely recommend them. Jolcy is one of the OG K-beauty retailers. They are wonderful, very reliable. I think today's gonna be a fun video. You know the drill. My skin type is dry, acne prone, and a bit sensitive, and timestamps and links are in the description box below. Okay, so I want to start with this right here, the Power 10 Formula Lee Jelly Pad Firefighter. This was in the Jolcy box. This is one of those products that I don't think I would purchase with my own money, simply because of the essential oils. Since I just told you I have a sensitive skin type, I try to avoid those ingredients as my skin doesn't always do well with them. But I was looking over everything in the box and I noticed something really interesting about the ingredients here. This is supposed to be a moisturizing and soothing pad that can also be used as a pack. Licorice root extract, calmzulin. Now, the essential oils, I will have those in red. It does not contain my known essential oil of concern, bergamot oil. But we do see right here, guaiacylene, 0.01 parts per million. Now listen, I cannot promise you that the ingredients around that guaiacylene are also going to be at 0.01 parts per million. But I can tell you that I wouldn't be surprised at all if that does end up being the amount of essential oils used in this product. I think that where some of the confusion comes from with essential oils is that they are used in really small amounts. And this will make more sense to Americans if I convert from parts per million to percentages. So just keep in mind, 1 part per million equals 0.0001%, which means in this case we are talking about 0.000001%. And that makes sense to me. You need such a tiny amount of essential oils to add fragrance. You need even less if you're using them as a masking fragrance. And I know a lot of brands do that. This almost smells unscented to me. I do pick up a little bit of those essential oils, but it smells very neutral. Now, obviously, here in the rabbit hole, this is not to twist your arm. You do not have to buy this. That's not what I'm saying here. If you are somebody who is strictly fragrance-free, I respect you. 1 million parts per million. You see what I did there? But this is a good example of the kinds of nuanced conversations that I like to have when it comes to skincare, because for me, there really is a difference between a very small amount of essential oil and a lot, and what essential oils we are talking about. So yeah, we'll see how this goes for me, but I have a sneaking suspicion that this is going to be just fine for me. I'm using these pads as the quick masking system, so I'm going to leave these on for about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm not going to give you thoughts today because this is my first time trying them, but I am going to give you some very interesting thoughts on this next item, the PDRN Hydrogel Mask from VT Cosmetics. So even though I have been a bit of a skeptic of this category, the hydrogel masks that you have the option of sleeping in, I don't like sleeping in them. If I'm being honest with you, this one is my favorite that I've tried so far. I still want to make it clear that I don't think everyone needs to run out and buy this kind of product. That's going to be true of everything we ever talk about with skincare. But I did something really exciting with these that I think is something you might see a lot more of here in the rabbit hole going forward if you all like this. Okay, let's chat. These are a hydrogel mask that is a hardened bottle of Ampoule. I do like that this is vegan PDRN, as most PDRN is not vegan. And in case you don't know this, I was vegan for about a year and vegetarian for 13 years. I am not currently vegetarian, but I do still order vegan foods at restaurants pretty much whenever I see that option on the menu. It does not win me any friends, by the way, just in case you wondered. It's not enough and it is too much at the same time, and yet as a nutritional scientist, trust me, there's a reason that I make that choice. So the whole claim with this is that this is one of those products that is supposed to give instant results. Very few things in skincare give instant results. But I agree, because of what's going on with this, because it is occlusion, because it is related to what I'm doing right now, you know? I'm locking in the ingredients of these pads through this quick masking system. I recently used these, and before I put one on my skin, I used that little Moly device that I talked about in our skincare technology video, did the measurement, put the mask on, took this off 3.5 hours later. Like I said, I don't like sleeping in these, so I just took it off, took the measurements again. Let us take a look together at my before and after. You know, this is so interesting. A lot of parameters didn't change at all. Blemish, oil, pigmentation, of course, pigmentation, like I say all the time, that is one of the hardest categories to address in the entirety of skincare. So no surprise that we didn't see any changes in any of those categories. Then we have a few where there's a subtle deviation, and I really want to talk about statistical significance here. Again, I just said I'm a nutritional scientist. As a researcher, statistical significance is really important because you're always going to get some kind of background noise. And I think a good example of that would be our wrinkle index. It went up. It went up. Does that mean that this causes wrinkles? No. 2 other categories went down by 3 points, sensitivity and pore index, and I think that there might be something to that, but I am not inclined to say that this is really helping with those issues directly. What we do see is a big change in 2 categories. Dryness dropped by 13 points. And that makes perfect sense. So that is exactly what I expected to see, and here it is, confirmed. But what surprised me is redness. Redness went from 15 to 7. We have ingredients in here that make sense in terms of targeting redness. We have panthenol, we have ginseng, we have lactobacillus. But I admit to you, I wasn't expecting that. Now, this could be the reason why I'm enjoying this one from VT more than the other hydrogel masks that I've tried. You know, again, I know to expect a reduction in dryness. I did not know until I saw these measurements that this one, specifically this one, might be helping me with redness as well. Okay, I'm gonna take these off. How interesting is that? I am fascinated by it. I am definitely gonna be using that tool a lot more for a lot more analysis. As somebody who's done skincare reviews for years, I've always felt like all I have to rely on is my own experience. And while that's great, I'm just gonna say this a lot in this video, I'm also a researcher, so I know how much bias can exist. That's why I'm so hesitant on really making strong statements, right? I know about bias. I want to be responsible with the knowledge that I have. But now we have an additional tool. From the perspective of somebody doing reviews, I am very excited. Let's move along to the Genabelle PDRN Vitatoning Ampoule. This will also be my, oh, it's so pretty. Sorry, I don't know what it is, but this type of product where you have the encapsulated beads in the product, it's just so pretty. Nice glass packaging too. This contains 0.05% PDRN. Now in this case, not vegan. You know, he's a little strange. It's always a little strange. I don't know what to think of the non-vegan PDRN. I mean, the research on it is compelling, but how do they get that? How do they get that ingredient? I wonder if it's like the lady with the dolphins in the 1960s. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop talking right now. Oh, this does have kind of a heavy feel on my skin though. I expected this to be more lightweight, but this kind of texture, this heavier feel, that is more of something that I look for in a PM routine. Now I'm regretting this choice. We'll see how it works under the sunscreen I've chosen for today. Maybe a good choice for the winter months. I have been so cold. We're getting a little bit of a break from the cold down here in Florida, but it's coming right back. We are having a cold winter this year, aren't we? All right, so key ingredients, PDRN, sodium DNA stimulates the production. Can we use a different word in the context of PDRN? It upregulates the production of collagen and elasticity. Vitamin capsule. I actually thought they were talking about vitamin C when I first pulled this out of the Joel C box, but no, they're talking about niacinamide, a B vitamin, and we have some peptide. No, 2 peptides in here. This is super interesting. So the box that I'm looking at here has the word fragrance on it. I typed out the ingredients already and I used the YesStyle website as a reference. Come on, admit it. You all use the YesStyle website for their ingredients list too, right? But the YesStyle website lists out rosemary essential oil, whereas this box says fragrance. Keep in mind, those two can be one and the same. Legally, that is permitted. I like to know what the fragrance is, so I find it more helpful to see the essential oil ingredient. Let's try an eye serum real quickly. So from the Tonymoly brand, I actually bought the Intense Care Gold 24K Snail Eye Serum Ball. I was hoping that this would be like my beloved Axis Y, but bigger. More product in here is 0.5 fluid ounces. It's the system I love. It is thicker. It is absolutely thicker. I confess to you that truly a part of the enjoyment of these are the roller ball. It's lovely to use and the system works because it has that pump on it. Whoever came up with this design is a genius. Do you realize somebody somewhere is out there knowing that they developed this? Probably somebody in China, just understanding a bit about how product design works. Is probably someone in China, and they might not even know how much there are people over here on YouTube just in love with this design. Now, I do believe that the formula on Axis Y will still win my heart over, but this is a nice alternative. I will tell you that it's a long ingredients list with this, not free of essential oils. So I do think that, generally speaking, people might prefer the formula on the Axis Y, but you know, the deal is, I don't want to be somebody that just gets stuck on products. I have to keep trying products so I can know if there really is something that is better. It's the good old catch-22 of skincare, although I do have one confession to make. So I did go back to SK-II recently. We've been kind of taking a long skincare review break, and I just said, it's now or never. I've got these bottles of SK-II. I know how much it does for my skin. So yes, you're probably, to a decent amount, seeing results from my SK-II. I'll quit it again in January so we can go back to objective testing. Wait. Should I do something with SK-II and that Moly meter? What and how, though? What and how? I have to figure out. We basically have to come up with study designs to use that. Let's move on to our moisturizer. Thank You Farmer is a brand that makes one of my absolute favorite moisturizers, Aqua Hyaluron Biome Cream. I'm going to be honest that I looked at the ingredients and thought if you are a big hyaluronic acid fan, you might love this. I tend to be not. I do like lactobacillus though, so let's give it a try. Got our seal inside. I think this is going to be lightweight, but that's okay because that's very lightweight. Oh, that's very, very lightweight. How is it so lightweight that it's as if it turns into a gel the second it hits my skin? Wild. That is going to be too lightweight for me, but those of you with oily 2 combination skin, this might be music to your ears. And while that absorbs into my skin, let me really quickly tell you about some of the other items in this box. So they sent the glutathione niacinamide beauty tablet, and in a video where I have told you multiple times about being a nutritional scientist, oh, this is so perplexing to me. If you see a percentage in the nutritional facts, it is referring to the percentage of your caloric intake or the percentage of your vitamin intake. We just don't do it this way. When you do the math on that, it is very low, and that has actually been my theory for this entire brand. I have a feeling that this is a brand that is using, glycerin, hyaluronic acid, and tiny amounts of other ingredients, which isn't bad. I mean, I think a lot of people are really enjoying their results from APLB, and I think that is a testament to ingredients like glycerin and hyaluronic acid. They also have 4 variants of their vitamins, and they suggest you take all of them, which at some point feels like, why would we not just make one comprehensive vitamin then? I keep saying vitamins because niacinamide is, again, a type of B vitamin, but glutathione is definitely more of just an alternative supplement. The idea in taking this would be for antioxidant activity. You can also do things like eat fruits and vegetables. In fact, do that. Eat fruits and vegetables. When you go to the restaurant, order a vegan meal. Try it. They're much more filled with vegetables. No, people are still gonna give me grief over this for the rest of my life. I see it coming. The box also came with the Purito patches, which I haven't needed in a while. Knock on wood. And another Skin 1004 sunscreen, but I bought 2 sunscreen requests, and I think the one I want to try today is the COSRX. This is so interesting to me. This is their Aloe 54.2 Aqua Tone-Up Sunscreen, SPF 50+, PA4+. It's a tone-up sunscreen. This could go one of 2 ways. This could really go poorly. But this is a tone-up tinted chemical sunscreen. So there's only one way to find out how this is. Let's find out. And since it's been a requested product multiple times, let's find out together. It's pink in color. Actually, that just looks white on screen. I mean, it's just so bizarre to me when I looked at the formula for this and saw Tinosorb S in a tone-up sunscreen. What? At that point, just use Tinosorb M, right? Ooh, I don't know. Right now, I am not feeling this. This feels like, do you want your chemical sunscreen to take as long to buff in as a mineral sunscreen? Try the COSRX Aqua 54.2 Tone-Up Sunscreen. That was commercial voice, Alice. Why would I willingly want my sunscreen application to be more like a mineral sunscreen? All right, layer 2. I mean, look at this. It really does. It looks like I'm applying mineral sunscreen. This makes me feel like suddenly the channel became one of those, do you remember those old YouTube prank channels? Just never prank anyone ever. Just as a good general life rule, never prank anyone. But that is what this feels like. I feel like I've been pranked. Based on my preferences, what I like in a sunscreen is for it to buff in real quickly. Let's get it over with. And I prefer to not have a lot of shine. I can't tell you that at this point it takes a few minutes for sunscreens to dry down. This might not have as much shine, to its credit. It might not. And you know what? I will say, iron oxides, we do believe those can help with blocking blue light. Don't over worry about blue light, but it's a nice added perk if you're somebody that likes to wear skin tints, foundations. It's kind of more of a fun trivia question, I would say, versus something I'd really worry about. Okay, I'm tired of buffing this into my skin. Are we done? Oh, now I'm starting to get pilling. It took a minute. Now I'm getting the... Oh, y'all. I am not liking this at all. I am so sorry. I think the reason I get requests for products like this is because I think a lot of people are still looking for a skin tint that really gives you sunscreen. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, in all the sunscreens I've tried, I still haven't found that. That is why I like those fast applying sunscreens and then a skin tint on top of that. That's the best way that I have found to get the best of both worlds. And I promise you it is actually quicker to do that than this. This is taking me forever. That was a bit of a disaster for me. You know, I feel like I've never loved a COSRX sunscreen. Feel free to share if you've had different luck with this, though. I do want to make sure to point out that was pilling that you saw, and that is something that it doesn't happen to everyone. You know, obviously in a video where we tried on a bunch of different products, it could have very simply been that this product, which I called heavier during our application, did not get along with this. I did kind of predict this happening to some extent. All that said, even without the pilling, I can tell that this is not a product that I would love because I gave you the reasons already. So this is my miss from today's video. So sorry, but I just have to tell you, you know, the way I see it, that's the miss. If that was my miss, what is my favorite? See, I just feel like I'm being predictable by saying it's the Tonymoly, but I love the experience of this product category. I do think each one of us is going to gravitate towards certain product categories. This is one that I really like, so it doesn't surprise me that I ended up really liking this product today. And my friends, that's it for today's K-Beauty Skincare Try-On. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, especially, again, I know I've already said it, but let me know what you would like to see me use that Moly meter to measure. Let me know your thoughts on any of the products in today's video. Thank you again to Jolcy for sending over their box. Again, I will link them below, and don't forget they have that international free shipping promo going on right now. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all next time.